Welcome to the channel and welcome to this 1750 match play game between Orks and Custodes. So today on the channel, my Orks are back. Murphy's War is here one more time. Unfortunately, Murphy is not with them today. There's just a warband exploring underground in this ancient alien necropolis. They found something weird, said the weird boy. So they're poking around, and down here they run into a force of Custodes, a force of the Solar Watch. So there's gonna be a big fight. And we're doing something slightly different. So at the end of September, I'm going to No Retreat 8. No Retreat 8 is run by the guys who do SM Battle Reports. And you can go to smbattlereports.com. They do written battle reports in the old White Dwarf style. And have a look at those battle reports there if you want something to read when you're on your break at lunchtime, things like that. They also, on their YouTube channel, SM Battle Reports YouTube channel, have started posting battle reports. So you can check them out as well. Now, the guys from SM Battle Reports who run the No Retreat tournaments, they're kind of famous around the world for a couple of things. One of the things they're famous for is their tables in Gibraltar are absolutely glorious. They're some of the best tables you will ever see. And on top of that, the tables that they run in the tournaments tend to be very heavy in terrain. Apologies for the plane flying by in the background. Very terrain heavy. So line of sight blocking terrain on most of their tables is a thing. Some of the tables can be a bit light, but generally speaking, I want to say 75%, 60% of their tables are terrain heavy. So that's what I've done here. I've put down a chunk of table, a terrain heavy table, and I'm going to that tournament as I mentioned. So the other thing that they do is the Maelstrom points are all equidistant in the table sixths. So this is central and you can see where they are, and they're fixed at a fixed point on the table. That one snuggling in there. And they do primary and secondary, so you fight a Maelstrom game over these points here, and you also fight a secondary game. We're not doing that today, we're just going to fight the Maelstrom, because this is going up on YouTube and I want it to be as accessible as possible. So what we're going to be playing is Cleanse and Capture, 3 cards a turn, and Maelstrom cards a turn, every turn, and there's going to be First Blood, Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker. Simple as that. And we're also doing Dawn of War deployment, because I think nearly all of the games at SM Battle Reports are Dawn of War, maybe one of them isn't. So Dawn of War deployment, 12 inches on that side, 12 inches on that side, 3 cards a turn every turn, terrain-rich table. And the other thing that the guys at SM Battle Reports do for tournaments is their single faction lists. There are some exceptions, so you can drop in a knight or an assassin or something like that, but they don't allow Imperial Soup or Chaos Soup or Eldar Soup lists. Generally speaking, it's a single faction list, which means it's a lot more restrictive on what people typically take to a tournament. And they also insist upon a really high painting standard. These tournaments, if you're interested, they do the Gibraltar GT because they're in Gibraltar. They do the No Retreat tournaments. They're really oversubscribed. They sell out really quickly because the terrain is so good, and I think because the location, Gibraltar, is an absolutely gorgeous place to go to, and I think because they rein it in with the comp. So you can turn up with not an average, but you can turn up with a less powered non-Imperial soup list and still do pretty well out there by reining it in a bit. So my list is what I'm thinking of taking, something along the lines of this. I'm thinking of taking to No Retreat 8 because of their comp restrictions. Do not take a tournament list like this to any normal tournament. Probably don't take it to No Retreat 8 either. We'll find out at the end of this battle. It's just a mixed orc list with some fun in it. But it's been tweaked a bit, and we welcome back to the channel Nick. Say hi, Nick.
Hi.
Thanks for coming down one more time.
Hey, most welcome.
And you've brought along a tournament list.
I am.
Of the Solar Watch.
Yes.
And you've actually run this at a tournament.
Yes.
You were at one of the Warhammer GTs?
Yeah, so Heat 1 of this tournament circuit. Did alright, kind of mid-placed, but it was kind of more the first time I'd used the army at any kind of competitive setting. So a lot of lessons learned. A lot of not what to do.
So you through to the next round if you mid-place?
No.
You're not through to the
No.
next round, but it was the
So-
first time you ran it at
Yeah.
a tournament, so you were flexing the muscles. And your list is tough. It's a typical, well, it's a custode. We'll get to the list in a minute, you'll see what I mean. It is a tough Custodes list with some of the juicy units in it. Did you have fun at the GT?
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's good there, isn't it?
It's always good fun.
They allow soup though, don't they? They allow...
Yeah, so anything from the general kind of rules, anything goes.
Anything goes at all. Oh, and the other thing that SN do as well is they really split up the factions. So
Yeah.
when you turn up there, like at the GT, you might have turned up and there might have been loads of night lists, for example,
Yeah.
or loads of soup lists. But one of the things that the boys at SN do is, yeah, of all the players, you might get two or three tops of any particular type of list. 2 or 3, maybe 4 tops of any particular type of list of Space Marine, Eldar, Jokari, Knights, things like that. So the tournament isn't awash with 50% Knights or 50% something. So there's going to be a mixture of opponents that you go up against. The power level is going to be dialed down a bit because of the soup. I think I've covered everything. So Maelstrom of War, 3 cards a turn, Hammer and Anvil, not Hammer and Anvil, Dawn of War deployment. Couple of quick shout outs. This glorious terrain that you see in front of you is all provided by GameMat.eu, as is the battle mat. This is their Necropolis terrain. This is some of the additions that you can get for the Necropolis terrain. And the battle mat from GameMat.eu as well. They actually support SN as well. They actually support quite a lot of tournaments. They give away a lot of stuff to tournament organisers. If you're out there and thinking about running a mini tournament, say 20 plus players with your friends, and you want some support from a game company, then get in contact with GameMat.eu. They're most likely to help you, help supply some way or another. They've got a very good reputation, is what I'm saying. Right, so 1750 match play. Let's go and have a look at the lists. Right, this is exactly 1750 points worth of Orks. It's a battalion and the one with all the heavies in it, so I get 9 command points. Now I'm running the clan culture Lucky Blue Gits. If I might change that before the tournament, because the one that people tend to take is the Bad Moons one, which is reroll hit rolls of 1, and then you get a full squad of looters. This is 15 looters rerolling hit rolls of 1, and there's a Bad Moon stratagem which allows you to shoot with these guys again. So you shoot with them once, then you pay the stratagem, then you shoot with them again. But I'm not running that clan culture. I'm running Lucky Blue Gits, which is the one which gives my entire army a 6-up invulnerable save, which is kind of handy. So I've got a t-shirt save and a 6-up invulnerable save, but also I can reroll 1 hit, 1 wound, 1 damage every time it's called upon to shoot or fight, including Overwatch, things like that. So that 1 extra reroll per unit I've found comes in quite handy, and I just like it. I like it. So what have we got here? Well, we've got 3 HQs, and straight away off the bat, I'm going to spend a command point to turn Weird Boy Will into a warp head. You need to do that in a tournament. So instead of just firing out 1 psychic power, you can fire out 2 psychic powers, and one of them will be the jump to teleport something up the table, and the other one will be Fist of Gork, or possibly Mork. Grugga will be my warlord, because the war boss on Trike is a suicide bomb, isn't he? He's something that you just fly up the table to do some damage, and he's going to be exposed, and then he's going to die. So I don't want to give up Warlord that easily. Instead, Grugga will be buried in one of the big squads of boys there. And of course, I've given him the Killer Claw, so his claw is not unwieldy. He'll be hitting on 2s, typically wounding on 2s, and rerolling to wound with that Relic Claw, and it's a flat 3 damage. And I've given him the Warlord trait, Might is Right. There's another one you can give that people tend to give, which is a reroll hit or something. But there's no point in giving that Warlord trait to Lucky Blue Gits, Death Skulls, because they reroll 1 hit anyway, and reroll 1 wound anyway. And with him hitting on 2s and rerolling 1 of them. So yeah, I've given him Might is Right, which means he gets an extra attack and extra strength. So he's up to strength 7 with the claw, up to strength 14 base. Stick the psychic power on him, he gets up to strength, I think it's 18. It's nasty. So yeah, Warlord, Killer Claw, Might is Right, Warp Head, Death Killer War Trike. Now, Death Killer War Trike allows you to move War Bikers and advance them, and charge after you advance them. So there is a squad of War Bikers up here with 3 Plough Claws and 2 big choppers. We've also already mentioned the Looters. I brought along Mega Knobs, which you never see in tournaments, but I like them. There's 3 with kill saws and 2 with choppers. These tractor guns, they're all separate units. They're only 45 points each, and they automatically hit. So they just hit. And they strength 8 -2 d6 damage, but you can re-roll the damage roll. It's either the damage roll or the wound rolls with stuff with the fly keyword. Obviously, grots, these things here do not benefit from the clan culture. These guys don't benefit from the clan culture either. They're just Gretchen. But I've got 2 units of 20 boys, 1 unit of 19 boys, and there is a claw, and a big chopper in the shooter boy squad. And all of these orc boys are gloriously painted up by Den of Imagination Painting Studios. And I think you can agree they did an absolutely glorious job, and I'm getting more. So, yeah. So that's my 1750 list. It's a bit of a mixed bag. I might be taking this to the tournament or something like this. It just gives me lots of different toys to play with. It gives me some backfield Daka, some charge, and some horde. And I don't think I'm nowhere. Look, I'm not going to win. I know I'm not going to win the tournament, and I'm not bringing a list along to help me win the tournament. What I'm doing is I'm bringing a list along which I'm going to have fun with. People like playing orcs, people like playing against orcs, and there's enough variety in this list to trouble most lists. And then I hope I'll finish somewhere around the middle. Middle would be nice, but the main thing is having as much fun as possible, screaming wah and killing Umis or Eldar, especially killing Eldar. Right, that's it. Let's go and have a look at the Custodes. Right, this is a battalion of the Solar Watch of the Custodes. It's 1750 on the nose, which, Nick, that's really impressive. Getting it bang on the nose for Custodes is tough. Mm-hmm. And you've got some Forge World stuff in here. You've got some nastiness. These Cladius tanks you see in most Custodes tournament type lists, as well as the big nasty Telemann Dreadnought. So what are we looking at? Who's your Warlord, etc.?
So the Warlord's going to be the Shield Captain on Jetbike.
Yes.
He's running Radiant Mantle and the Orks Relic.
Okay, so the Radiant Mantle is -1 to hit him when I shoot him or punch him.
Correct.
And the Relic is, you've got a 3-up in vulnerable save.
So yeah, 3-up in Vun and re-rolling charges.
Okay. But Trajan Valoris is in this list. He's not the Warlord.
He is not. He's overseeing operations today.
Okay.
He had a very busy week last week, so he's handed off his command duties to the Jetbike.
Yeah.
So he's going to be there just offering his re-rolls to the shootier stuff.
Yeah.
Behind them, they've got the Vexilis Praetor running the Magnifica banner, which is -1 to hit for everything within 6 inches.
Everyone within 6 inches of that banner is -1 to hit.
Yeah.
I like it.
Might not come into play too much in this, but
that's only
some of the shootier.
Yeah, that's only against shooting, isn't it? Yeah. It's not in close combat, but I do have some shooting going on. Okay.
And then we've got 3 units of Custodian Guard.
Yep.
1 with sword and shield, and
yep.
2 with spears.
Yeah.
With the SN battle report competition rules, you have to take a battalion or a brigade.
Yeah.
So you're kind of locked in with the troops that you can take. So this is kind of the minimum tax for that tournament.
Yeah, but 9 Custodes on foot with a shield in each of them is quite nice, and with Golden Light they come. You could teleport them out onto the battle grid somewhere if you want to. The shield will give them a 3-up, each unit a 3-up in vulnerable save. Yep. And Custodes are brutal in close combat. They can chew their way through hordes. Palace Grav Tank.
Yep, so 100 points, one of the best units currently out there potentially for Custodes, in my opinion.
Okay.
Move 16. Its gun has 6 shots or 2 shots, ranging between 1 and 3 damage. It's quick, it's manoeuvrable. It can get to where it needs to be. And it can snipe characters or vehicles.
16-inch move. Yeah, that's crazy. It's got the same sort of durability as a Rhino, but with a 5-up and vulnerable save as well. See, when on paper, the gun doesn't look that spectacular, either 6 shots or 2 shots. But I guess it's the manoeuvrability and the sort of...
It's got Power of the Machine Spirits, it hits on 2s.
Right, okay.
And it's rerolling, if it uses the damage 3 characteristic, which is 2 shots, you're rerolling wounds against vehicles.
Are you?
Yeah. So
it's strength 7 -4, rerolling wounds, flat 3 damage with 2 shots. Okay.
So it can do some damage.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing about it is it's below 10 wounds, so it doesn't grade, so it's always hitting on 2s. Yeah. I like it.
And then behind them, we've got 2 Cladius Grav tanks with the Iliastus accelerator cannons.
Yep. These are broken as hell. Well, not broken, they're undercosted as hell,
undercosted
and
now,
everyone's waiting for them to go up 50 points or something.
Yeah, at a minimum.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably turn out to be something like the Telemon points.
Yeah.
They are just spectacular.
It's worth noting that they are toughness 7 with a 3-up save, which is the same as a Rhino. So toughness 7 with 3-up save, but why are they so tough? Well, they've got 14 wounds. They've got a 5-up invulnerable save. They hit on 2s and they move 12 inches. Or 14 inches.
It's 14 inches.
They move a long way.
Power of the Machine Spirit.
Yeah, so it's always hitting on 2s. And that gun on top is 8 shots.
Mm-hmm.
And the gun underneath is 6 shots. So they chuck out 14 shots hitting on 2s. And when they degrade one step and they're hitting on 3s, they're still hitting on 3s.
Okay.
So and also the other thing is these grav vehicles have something backwash rule. Basically,
yes.
if I charge them, it's -2 to the charge.
Yep.
So stuff deep striking out and wanting to charge them, that'll be an 11-inch charge, not a 9-inch charge to get in there.
And there are tricks to make that longer.
Is there? What tricks?
If they're within 12 inches of an infantry unit,
Yeah.
Tanglefoot Grenade.
So yeah, a Tanglefoot Grenade is a stratagem that Custodes have. You roll a d6 and you got to add that to your charge roll, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can make the charges on these guys impossible if you jump out. So I guess the Telemon stands behind all the tanks shooting all day long.
Yeah, mainly. It's kind of the indomitable guardian of this force. It's done some work in the past.
Yeah.
If it stands still, the missiles on the top can fire twice. They're strength 5 -1 damage each.
Yep.
And they're 5 shots. So if you stand still, that's 10.
Hitting on 2s because it's Custodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's toughness 8, 14 wounds again, 2-up save with a 4-up invuln and a 6+ unyielding ancient save. And then the guns on the arms. Again, it has the same type of weapon as the Palace. So it's got 2 variants of shooting.
Yeah.
It's got 6 shots at strength 7 -1 damage per
Yeah.
gun.
Per gun.
So that's 12.
Yeah.
Or it's got 2 shots per gun at strength 9 -4 flat 3 damage, re-rolling wounds against vehicles.
Well, strength 9 -4.
Mm-hmm.
That's mean.
So
6 shots per gun could be 12, and the one on top firing twice, it could chuck out 22 shots in one turn, hitting on 2s, re-rolling because you'll have a shield captain nearby, -1 to hit. This is why people take this thing. It is toughness 8 with a 4-up invulnerable save. The only time one of these appeared on the channel previously was Sorcerer Dave. Sorcerer Dave YouTube channel, check it out. He does battle reports as well. I killed it in first turn. But we were running 3,000 points of Death Guard at it, and it took me everything to bring it down. And after I fired my entire army at it, the rest of his army was untouched. And it was also new model syndrome. It was the first time he'd run it. So obviously it's going to die in the first turn. That's just the rule, right?
yeah, every time.
I think that's in the rule book somewhere, new model syndrome.
That's why you should never take a new army or a new model army to a tournament.
Exactly. So what we've got here with the Cladus tanks and the Telemon is a lot of DACA hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s with a shield captain in nearby, with a -1 to hit when you shoot back at it. So if you go up against Tau or Guard, for example, suddenly you're making them hit you on 5s instead of 4s. And then you've got some speed with the tank. There's not a lot of forward pressure. But there's options in the Custodes book which allows Nick to deep strike in and stuff. Mind you, the shield captain on a bike is enough forward pressure on his own, I guess.
Yep.
Because he's just a beast.
Yeah, and I am actually going to spend 2 command points on Victory of the Blood Games.
Okay.
Which allows him to reroll 1 hit, wound, damage, or save roll per turn.
Nice. Okay.
So
Puts you down to 6 command points. But against Orks, I think you're going to need it. You're going to want him. He's going to want to do some work and hurt some of the Horde. Otherwise, they're going to be charging you with impunity with many, many boys, and I might swamp you. Might. It's a good list. It's a beautiful army. Let's move on to deployment. Here we are after deployment. Then when we were deploying models down all over the place, getting down and having a good look at line of sight, I think I may have overdid it. I think I overdid it, Nick.
Maybe. We'll see.
It'll certainly make it a very interesting fight. I guess you're not too disappointed by the amount of line of sight because these things moving 14 can still shoot. You've still got a lot of mobility as well as DACA. You've also spent a command point putting one of your units of Custodes in reserve.
Yes.
So you're down to 5 already. And what we've got here is the little castle. Everything here will be re-rolling hit rolls. And even if I jumped in and tried to charge, it's -2 to charge the grav tanks. And these guys here have got those tanglefoot grenades. So it pretty much makes a de-jump charge impossible. I'm going to have to slog my way towards it. One of the units here, along with the Warlord, the Shield Captain, the other unit here, and then the Palace Grav Tank tucked in there. And they're not looking out at very much, because I've hidden lots and lots of things. What we did for deployment is we rolled off. I picked that deployment zone because it had that nice central large line of sight block and terrain piece. Then you deployed all your army first. Then I deployed all. I was able to counter deploy my army, and then you're going first, unless I managed to steal. So, loot the initiative. What?
I might want you to go first.
Oh yeah, you might want me to go first. Yeah. So it took me a long time. Apologies. It took me a long time, and I moved quite a few units about. The tractor cannons are hidden away because they only move 3 inches, but they automatically hit. They are heavy weapons, but it doesn't matter. I can just reverse 3 inches and then hopefully draw line of sights on stuff. So I've spread them across the back line. These guys are probably out of range of everything, but if anything comes over here, remember the objectives. It's still an objective game. You could hurt me considerably with the amount of DACA that you do, and hopefully I can steal a chunk of objectives and then hide potentially. Weird Boy Will is buried here with the looters and the mega knobs and the shooter boys and another tractor cannon hidden behind that large, and as you can see they're pulled this way because as far as I can tell it doesn't matter where Nick moves the tanks. I shouldn't be able to get shot. Same with this one. And then I've got Gretchen, the Gretchen screen, 2 units of boys. There's Grugger Chugger. They are in the open. They are going to get lit up. He could potentially delete 40 boys in 1 turn. That is something that this army could do. But I need to put pressure up the table, so they need to start shoving up. And if they're shooting at boys, they're not shooting at anything else. And the bikes are here as well. Now, we're counting these structures as ruins, so infantry can traverse or they can move through walls. But bikers, vehicles can't. So these guys and the Deathkiller Wartrike need to go snake their way round, and even though they can advance and still charge, that's an impossible first turn charge. If it was just lined up here and I got to go first, then potentially I could get a first turn charge off, but I've been cunning and tried to tuck them away, assuming that you're going to choose to go first and bring all your DACA down. Now, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I think I'd probably like to go first.
Then I'd like to try and loot the initiative. Let me grab the dice. Right, looting away on the 6. 1 minute. Do I want to go first? Yeah, I really do. I don't go first. So it will be the Solar Watches. Turn 1. Here are the orders for the Custodes, and they're off to a bad start. Big Game Hunter, kill something with a wounds characteristic of 10 or more. I haven't got any of them. Secure Objective 1 is right in the Orks deployment zone, and kills Kingslayer, kill Grugger Chugger. That's going to be really tough in turn 1. You know, you could spend 2 command points to ditch one of these and pull another one. It's in the main rulebook.
It is, and a lot of people forget about it.
Yeah.
Considering I only have 5,
yes.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, so the first blood is up for grabs potentially, but sucky orders for turn 1. Here we are after the Solar Watch's movement phase. Very quickly, the tanks shifted that way, and Trajan and Vexilla advanced that way as well to keep the bubble going. Shield Captain hopped up here, out of line of sight, ready to counterpunch something. And there is a unit, a very expensive unit holding on to that objective. A very expensive unit holding on to that objective behind this wall here. And the Palace Grav Tank hopped up there, which means if he could stay there all game, I'm not going to be able to charge him. I'll have to shoot him off eventually. But as we mentioned, no Big Game Hunter. Objective 1 is behind that wall, and the other one is Kingslayer, and there's Grugger Chugger buried in amongst all the boys back there. So we're starting off the shooting phase. What would you like to start with, sir?
So to begin with, Telemon is going to have 1 arm fire at 1 unit of boys.
Yes.
And the other arm at the right-hand unit of boys.
Okay, how many shots each?
Just 6.
6 shots each. Now I know the reason why you're doing that, because the reason why you're doing that is once I activate grot shields, once you pick at a unit of boys, I can activate grot shields and pass the wounds onto the grot shields, and then you can just throw all the guns into the other unit, and they will not get the benefit of grot shields. So now I have a decision to make whether to actually activate the grot shields for these guns or wait until the grav tanks fire in. I think I'm going to wait until the grav tank's firing. The missile on the top of the Telem is 24-inch range, right?
Yeah.
So it can't reach out and touch. So I'm going to let you fire away, and I'm not activating grot shields yet.
Okay. So because he moved,
yes,
he's now hitting on 3s.
Is he?
Yeah. So
and re-rolling 1s because of your...
Oh,
There's a 2. Nice. And the strength of this when it's 6 shots?
Strength 7.
Okay. So 3s to wound.
Re-rolling 1s.
I'm assuming it's AP minus huge.
-1.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So 6 up invulnerable saves because I'm lucky. 3 of the boys die.
And now the right-hand squad.
Yes. Look at those 6s. Target acquired. These are dice available on the deploymentzone.tv merchandise page.
And then 3s. Rerolling 1s because of Trajan.
Okay. Does Trajan reroll all failed hits and wounds?
Just 1s.
Just 1s. Just 1s to hit and 1s to wound.
Yep.
Okay. I don't make any of them. So you killed 3 in one squad, 5 in the other squad. Right, tank number 1 is firing 6 shots into the grots and 8 shots into this squad of boys where 3 of them died. I'm now activating the grot shield for 1 command point, basically any wounds. Once you've rolled to hit and wound the boys, then I can pass them off onto the grots. But let's shoot some grots first.
Okay.
6 shots.
Hitting on 2s.
Yep.
Rerolling 1s.
Yep. And this is a strength 6 gun. I'm
Yep.
toughness 12. Actually, no, I'm toughness 2. A grot is toughness 2. Okay, so that's 6 dead grots.
Yeah.
They're just dead. Okay, and then 8 shots into the boys. This should sting. You need another dice.
Yep.
Yeah. 2s to hit. Rerolling 1s because of Trajan. Okay, 7 hits. And your strength.
Trajan is expensive.
Yeah.
But as you'll find out during the entirety of this game,
Yes.
he makes his points up.
Okay.
With the amount of shots.
Yeah.
So
Your
strength 8.
Yeah.
So that many.
They all wound. They're AP minus 2, I think, and D3 damage a time.
-3.
Minus 3 D3 damage a time. But I have 6 up and vulnerable saves. So 6 get through, and then on a 2 up, grots die. So 6 grots have died already, and 7 grots die. And no, what am I talking about? 6 grots plus 5 is 11 grots die, and a boy. Okay, it looks like there's 4 grots dead, a chunk from this unit gone. I think it's 4 from this unit, 5 from this unit gone. And now the second tank is firing everything into this unit, which hasn't got a grot shield. You're hitting on 2s with your
Rerolls.
big gun on top, the accelerator. And then you're wounding on 2s because it's strength 8, -3, D3 damage time. That's nice. 7 wounds. Can I make any 6s? How lucky am I? Not lucky. 7 boys die. And then...
6 shots from the bolt cannon.
Yeah, bolt cannon. Lastrum bolt cannon. Such a cool name.
Yeah.
This is strength 6 though.
So 3s.
And 4 of them. So 6 boys dead plus another 4. That's 10 boys dead. Sorry, that was 11 dead boys. Leaving 3, well 2 in the boss knob. That was brutal. Now the last thing left to fire is the palace tank up here. And quite naturally you're picking on the looters.
Yeah.
So 2s to hit the looters. And this is the strength 6 version of the gun, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's strength 5 -2, 1 damage this version. So 3s to wound. And you get 4 wounds through. At -2, I need my 6 up and vulnerable saves. 2 looters die. That was very lucky. They are lucky. I think that's the end of your shooting phase.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're wiped out now. Now morale is a thing. I've lost. That was a squad of 20. I've lost 17. 17 plus D6, and then morale is however many boys are here. I need to count before I choose to spend morale points. Morale points, I mean command points. So there's 16 boys there. I've taken 17 wounds. So I'm going to roll for morale. So that is 6 plus 17. That squad fails morale and are considered to flee and have wiped them out. But Grugachugger now breaks heads and inflicts D3 mortal wounds on that unit. That's as cocked as you like. So 2 mortal wounds on that unit, killing these guys off and urging the boss knob to stand firm. So the unit is not broken, and unfortunately, that isn't first blood.
What about the Gretchen?
Oh yeah, the Gretchen. Their leadership 4. Their leadership 4. I lost 11. Plus, that's 50. Their run. That is first blood. The Gretchen runs screaming. Of course, the Gretchen. The looters are leadership 7 though, and I lost 2. So on a 6, I'm going to lose 1 more. That's a 5, plus 2 is 7, so they hold firm. And that is the end of Custodes turn 1. They have got first blood. Nick's discarding Big Game Hunter. The boys have been significantly reduced here, but what I'm going to do at the start of the turn is spend 3 points on Endless Green Tide, because the unit hasn't been wiped out, and bring them back in again. Yeah, it's still a long way back up the table for me to come charging and get to you. You're going to have another glorious turn of shooting at me. He's poised and ready, the shield captain, ready to jump on anything that sticks its nose out the battle grid. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Let's go to Orks turn 1. Right, here are the boys' objectives. Secure objective 2, that's deep in enemy lines. That's near on impossible. Behind enemy lines is possible, because I could jump something back there, or with Endless Green Tide, bring back my swarm of 20 boys back there. Blood and Guts actually kills something in the fight phase. That's pretty impossible as well, because they're so far away. Right, here we are after the movement phase. Unstoppable Green Tide, 3 command points, and I'm behind enemy lines with this unit of boys. And there's objective 2, and that's a 9-inch charge. I'm aware of Tanglefoot grenades slowing me down, but at least I'll get a point for behind enemy lines. I might actually be able to secure objective 2. And then in the movement phase, because that happens at the end of the movement phase, for a long time, I was talking to Nick there, for a long time I was thinking about being canny and cowardly. Very cowardly, but in the... Boo, exactly, we don't like cowardly. But in the end, I decided to shove forward. I've got a plan. The bikes that were here advanced, and they're under there. And most of them, I think they're out of line of sight. And the idea is they're poised, ready to jump next turn. I'm aware that the grav tanks could zip up here and put some Dakka down in on the bikes. But I intend to jump a unit over here. Now, it's going to be an 11-inch charge because it's -2 to charge these guys. And if I put them right on the edge, then I'll be out of 12-inch range for the Tanglefoot grenade nerf thing. So there should be, if the jump works, a unit here, a unit there for them to deal with. The boys advanced up the table as well. There should be many targets that the castle will need to deal with. So I'm going to have to be a bit aggressive there. This tractor cannon snuck his nose out so he can get shots up the table. This one can't see anything. I didn't move it. It will move over a little bit. It can't see anything. They only move 3 inches. This one can't see anything, and this one can. That one snuck round that way. And the idea is shots go up. So shots from here and the tractor cannons go up at the palace tank and the looters, and then present enough threats to make the Custodes think. At least I need to get them thinking. Now, this could be the worst thing ever. Maybe I should have been a bit canny and hidden away and stuff like that. But if I don't start putting the pressure on, then I'm never going to put the pressure on. And I'm an orc, so let's put the pressure on. And let's go into the psychic phase. So Weird Boy Will really needs to pass the jump on the Meganobs. And he gets pluses to the roll for every 10 boys. That's definitely a pass, is what I'm saying. I think it's a 6 or a 7. And I think he's got +2 to his casting right now. So the Meganobs are going to jump. And in a flash of stinky green energy, they disappear and appear over here, 9 inches away from the tank, more than 12 inches away from that infantry unit. So that's my psychic phase, even though he can do 2, everything else is out of range. Now I'm going to fire up at that tank there, and the tractor cannon automatically hits. I've hit you.
Yay!
Now I need to wound you, and 1 minute. So it's strength 8 versus toughness 6. I need a 3 to wound, and that's a wound, and it's -2, and you have a 5 up and vulnerable save, which you fail. And when inflicting damage from a tractor cannon on a vehicle unit that can fly, and that can fly, you roll 2 dice and discard the lowest. So it does 5 damage.
Ouch.
And then the second tractor cannon, which is snugly around here, is going to fire up and hit it as well. I hit. Now I need a 3 to wound. I failed to wound. So it's going to be down to the looters. How many wounds has it got left?
3.
3. So I don't think I need to use the more Dakka stratagem at this stage. I'm just going to fire at him. So you pick the unit, you roll D3, and that's a 1. So I'm going to spend a command point on that. So that's a 1. Everyone has 1 shot each. There's 13 boys left. Maybe I should have used the more Dakka stratagem. hitting on 5s, and there's a couple of 6s. So those 6s give me 2 more shots. So there's one there, that was a 6. And then I can re-roll 1 hit because I'm lucky. Nope, so only 4 get through. It's strength 7 versus toughness 6, so I'm winning on 3s. And I can re-roll one of them because I'm lucky. Okay, 3 wounds at -1, 2 damage each. So I need you to fail twice at least, or that tank is going to make it.
So -2, did you say?
-1.
-1, so 4.
Yep. Command point? Because it's 2 damage a time, so that's 4 damage.
Yeah, let's try and keep it alive.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope. Grav tank's gone. It doesn't matter if it explodes. It's not going to hurt anyone up there. That was by the skin of my teeth. My skin of my big orc gnashy teeth. Right, this tractor cannon can't see anything, so this tractor cannon is going to fire in at the tank I want to charge. Getting down and looking at line of sight, it is going to be the tank I want to charge. I was thinking maybe I should fire at one of the other tanks, because if I do make the charge, it should be a dead tank. But I can only see that tank. So I hit, I wound on a 3, I don't wound, that's a 1. Then after we shot over there, the only things left to fire really is this big squad of boys firing a bunch of sluggers into the Custodes under there, and the Meganobs over in the corner, some light arms. So we did all the small arms off camera. Custodes having a 2-up save, and Orc shooting is absolutely terrible, and there was -1 to hit from the Shooter boys, the Meganobs, that's their name, over here into the tanks. Basically I did no damage. No damage at all. Now I need to make this charge. So let's get the Overwatch on camera, because this could be painful. Okay, what's happening? What?
So with the Meganobs charging in, I'm also going to spend a command point on unflinching.
Right.
Which is any Custodes model.
Yes.
On Overwatch can now hit on 5s.
So the tank's now hit on 5s?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Rerolling 1s because of Trajan.
Okay, cool.
So.
The 8 shots of doom.
Yep.
3 hits so far. And 4 hits. Brilliant. With the 8 shots of doom. And you're wounding on 2s because of strength 8. Reroll 1s because of Trajan. Okay, so 3 wounds get through. It's -3, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a 2-up save, which becomes a 5-up save. I saved 2 of them. Wow. And it does D3 damage.
Yeah.
Meganobs are 3 wounds. So you kill 1, 1's dead, and then the Lasdrum Guns of Doom.
Yep.
Where's Claw? Yeah, get rid of that one. So that's 4 hits. Can you stop doing this?
Sorry.
3's to wound. 3 more wounds. These are -2, the Lasdrum Bolt Cannon. So 4s? I'll make all of them.
Ooh.
Okay, so that could have been much worse. You do kill 1. Now I need to make an 11-inch charge because they're -1 to charge because of the Grav backwash. So 11 inches, which I can re-roll because I'm an Orc. And you can't re-roll a re-roll.
You can't.
What's the chance of getting 11 on 2d6? Very, very low. There's a 6. That's a failed charge. That's the end of... Oh no! I've got these guys as well. They're going to go charging in. Do you want to spend a point on Tanglefoot Grenade?
No.
No? Okay. So this will be a 9-inch charge. We'll do the Overwatch in a second. And I can re-roll any one of the dice. So let's re-roll the 3, because this is a 50-50 chance now. Yay! The Orcs are in. There's going to be a good scrap. So the boys make it in, yelling and hollering as they go. These Custodes are surrounded. And you're doing what now?
So Custodes have a stratagem called Stooping Dive.
Stooping Dive.
It's 3 command points.
Yes.
But it allows me to charge as if it was my charge phase.
Yes.
After you've charged, and I get to strike first. Before
Okay. So long as their charging models are within 12 inches of a guy on a jet bike, right? Or
Yeah.
a unit of jet bikes.
Yeah.
That's all your command points spent.
It is. However, Trajan has a once per game ability called Moment Shackles, where
Yep.
it has 3 different choices. You can
Yep.
either attack twice, regain D3 wounds, or regain D3 command points.
Okay.
But you can only gain as many command points as you've spent on the stratagem that you're about to use it on. So this one's 3,
Okay.
so I get D3 back. Yay!
1 back. So at least you've got 1 command point left. And then your Warlord stoops in and counterpunches my punch. Do they have to charge
I have to
normally?
charge.
I was going to edit. Okay. 6. Well, it's 3 and 3, so he's in. Could have re-rolled the charge with your it's relic anyway.
Orks.
Auric Aquilus. Okay, so starting off, he's a charging unit, and you get to fight first with this. 5 attacks on shield captain. Victor of the Bog game, so you got to reroll 1 hit, 1 wound, 1 everything. Yeah, okay. So 2s to hit. You don't need the reroll. Your strength 7, so you're wounding on 3s.
Strength 6.
Oh yeah, and they reroll all failed wounds on the charge. That's what bikes do. Only 3. That could have been better, Nick.
Could have been.
Yes, I have 6 up invulnerable saves. Are any boys lucky this day? No, 3 of them die. As Nick said, that was a boy for every command point he said. But interestingly, if an orc unit is 20 or more models, I got an extra attack for every boy. And that was, now you killed 3. Instead of having 4 attacks each, I'm down to 3 attacks each. So it might keep that unit of Custodes alive. So there's 16 normal boys there with sluggers and choppers with 3 attacks each. So that's 48 attacks hitting on 3s. I got 39 hits, but I'm wounding on 5s. So that many wounds. Right, I've got 11 wounds through. Where are you allocating, the shield or spears?
Because the claw is still yet to fight, I'm going to go for the spear first.
Are you afraid of the claw?
Yeah.
The claw.
The claw. So I've got 3 wounds each, so until I'll just keep going. So he's taking a wound.
Yep.
So
2 wounds.
So he's got 1 left.
He saves. Dead. So 1's dead.
Other spear. And other spear. There you go.
Okay, so I kill 1 with a spear. And that was perfect because now I'm going to hit you with a claw and then you can allocate this to the shield guy.
It's perfect. I just lost a guy.
Lost the Custodes, yeah. It's never perfect when they die. Right, 4's to hit with a power claw because it's unwieldy. And I can reroll 1 of these because I'm lucky. I didn't use any of my rerolls. And I am strength 10 because he's a boss knob. Strength 5 plus I need to check the book. Yes, boss knob in a squad of boys is strength 5. Times 2 is 10, so 2's to wound. And I could have re-rolled 1 of them because I'm lucky. Right, those at -3 because it's a power claw, but you got your 3 up invulnerable save, shield of doom. And you make them all. So there's 2 guys left, 1 with the sword and shield, 1 with the guardian spear, but we're going to do it all together because it all hits and wounds on the same. It hits on 2s, you'll be wounding on 3s, and it's AP minus a lot, and I have a 6 up invulnerable save. And basically I lose 4 more boys, so I lost 7 overall. My morale is currently 13, so I pass. And your morale is Custodes, so you're absolutely fine.
Yep.
And so at the end of that turn, I actually secure objective 2. I don't get blood and guts, but I secure objective 2. I'm behind enemy lines here and here with the Meganobs, which is 2 points to 1. What was the other one I had? Kill something in the fight phase. I might actually keep hold of that one. I might actually ditch it, to be honest, because I'm not going to kill anything in the fight phase anytime soon. So it's probably worth holding on to. No, it's probably worth ditching to try and draw another card. What I've done, though, is fed you some Meganobs, which you can unload into. I've fed you some boys, which you can unload into. The body count for Murphy's War is about to get very, very high. Let's hope Nick gets a better card draw as we go into Custodes. Turn 2. So you've heard of the dice gods, but the card gods are also a thing, and they are not being kind to the Custodes. Secure objective 1 and 5 are both basically on the Orks side of the table. They're gonna be really hard to get. And Kingslayer, take out Gruggerchugger. Well, he's a character, so you're gonna have to kill everything in front of him. Basically, securing 1, securing 5, and Kingslayer, and nigh on impossible this turn. Let's have a look and see what the Custodes do. Right, here we are after the movement phase for the Custodes. I have to say, Nick, your movement phases are incredibly quick.
It happens when you've only got like 9 models on the board.
You're not bringing your reserves in yet?
Not yet.
No. And there's objective 1 and there's objective 5, so you're not getting them.
No.
Kingslayer is a thing,
I'm
but Gruggerchugger's buried back here and there's many, many units in front of him, so yeah, you're not getting that either. So instead, your options are basically to kill as much as possible. The grav tanks jumped up there. Not going to be able to charge them. There's a climb all the way up. It's going to be tough to charge them. Meanwhile, Trojan has moved forward. He's still granting the reroll bubble to all these units back here. And this guy's got an axe. And he's thinking about charging the Meganobs. And meanwhile, Custodes are quite happy slaying the Xenos down here and have stayed all in combat, including your shield captain.
Yep.
He didn't kill very many last turn. You're hoping for a bit of a better...
That's why he's still in combat.
Yeah, he needs to redeem himself. So shall we go on to the shooting phase and kill some green skins?
Sounds perfect.
Okay then. Opening up the shooting phase, the guy with the sword and the shield. The sword with the gun in it counts as a pistol. Killed 2 orc boys. Now we're coming across here to the Telemon, which is unloading everything into the Meganobs because it's a damage 3 weapon.
I can choose to be, and that's the one I'm going to do.
Yes, and they're 3 wounds each.
Wounding on 2s.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hitting on 2s, rerolling the 1s, wounding on 2s because it's strength 9, right?
Yep.
And reroll the 1 because of treasuring. Okay, so they all get through. That's exactly what you need, and it's AP minus 4.
It is.
My 2 up becomes a 6 up. And each of these will kill a knob, mega knob, unless I keep them alive somehow. Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead. That's a 200-point unit just wiped off the face of the earth. That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful machine. I've got to get me one of those. Right, what are the tanks doing?
So this one can draw a bead on the bikers.
Okay.
He's going to do the big gun into them and the small gun into the boys.
Okay. Big gun into these guys, little gun into the boys in front of them. I don't think I mentioned on camera that I did the billowing exhaust cloud stratagem on these guys, but you heard me say it.
Yep.
So it's -1 to hit this because they have the speed freak keyword, the boys. So the tank will be hitting them on 3s instead of 2s. It's still hitting on 3s. It's still pretty good with your 8-shot accelerator cannon. And it worked. It stopped one of the hits. Strength 8, toughness 5 though.
So 3s.
And you reroll 1s because of treasure. Right, AP minus 3. I have a 4-up save, so it burns straight through that. But I do have a 6-up invulnerable save because I'm lucky. Lucky for one of them. So that many get through, and it's D3 a time. They're 3 wounds each. So the first one is now dead. One of them's dead. 2 of them are dead. And 3 of them are dead. You kill 3 of them. 3 out of 7 of the bikes just go pop. Very careful with the bikes that I took away there, because then the second tank can't see them anymore. Now 6 shots coming into the boys, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, and wounding on 2s. Oh, sorry, 3s, and 6-up invulnerable saves on the boys. 5 of them die. And it looks like this. So the second tank is going to put the other 6 shots into the boys, and the big cannon of doom into the tractor cannon down here. What are we starting off with?
We'll go with the bot cannon first.
Okay, blaster and bot cannon, 6 shots, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, and wounding on 3s. And only 4 wounds. I say only 4. 5 of them have died so far. So morale is a thing. Oh, I saved 2 of them. So 2 more die. So 7 have died. 8 shots into the cannon, hitting on 2s. And rerolling those 2 1s. And they all hit, so it's strength 8 on toughness 5. It's higher than 4. Okay. And they have a 5-up save, so you burn straight through the armour, and each of these does D3 wounds. There's 6 wounds to get through. So even if you rolled a bunch of 1s, you kill the cannon. It is a vehicle, but it doesn't count as explodes. The tractor cannon is, that's many wounds. Dead tractor cannon. Tractor cannon's gone, then Trajan took aim with his Castellan axe and killed more of the boys in this horde down here. Not so much a horde anymore, it's a squad. That's the end of the shooting phase. Meganobs wiped out, 3 of the bikes over there wiped out, tractor cannon wiped out. Now we're going on to the fight phase, and we're coming around here. And you can select a unit and fight with it first, and then I'll get to punch, interestingly. Are you going to start with your shield captain? Is he going to redeem himself?
He is.
Okay, 2s to hit.
Well, say he is.
Rerolling 1s. Everything hits. He wounds on 3s, and he can reroll 1 of them because the victor of the blood gains.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Depends if you're going to hit me. Yeah.
Okay, so he wounds 5 times. I have 5 invulnerable saves on my boys. I passed 2 of them. Right, there's 6 boys left there. So 5 normal guys are going to hit your Custodes on 3s. And I'm going to wound your Custodes on 5s because they are Custodes. Genetically engineered badasses. Okay, that was quite good. I did 5 wounds on them. 5 wounds on the golden boys, or the white solar watch boys. 5, how are you doing this? Shield or non-shield?
Non-shield.
Non-shield. Takes a wound. Okay, he's wounded once. And now the claw is going to hit you. The claw. Hits on 4s. I can reroll one because I'm lucky.
He's very lucky.
He's very lucky. 2 hits, look. I wound you on 2s, this guy with the Guardian Spear. 2 wounds, 4 up and vulnerable saves, sir.
Ooh.
And he's very lucky. He just gets scratched, and now your Custodian Guard can fight back again. So this will be 6 attacks, hitting on 2s, winning on 3s. Reroll on the 1 because the Shield Captain's right nearby. Cool. And that's not so good. You
3 more.
kill 3. Well, actually, 6 up and vulnerable saves. Yeah, you do kill 3. That leaves some left. That puts that dice to an 8. I'm leadership 7. Plus 11 is basically the rest all flee. You've wiped them out in the morale phase. And it looks like this. Then we come over here to these guys. I took 8 casualties there. Their leadership 7. So 6 plus 8 is 14. I'm going to lose 7 more boys. Which leaves the boss knob with the plough claw left standing there, looking over his shoulder, wondering where all the boys have gone. Where are you, lads? They're in front of us. And he's on his own. So at the end of that phase, at the end of that turn, you don't actually score any points. It's still 2 points to the Orks and 1 point to the Custodes. But I've killed a unit. I've killed a Custode in turn 1. And you've killed half. And a Palace, yes, I killed the Palace Grav Tank. I've killed 2 models in your army, but you only start off with 17? 17?
19, I think.
19,
Yeah.
okay. So I've killed 2 models in your army. You've killed half of my army. So we're going to draw some cards. The bikers, the bikers are leadership 7. 5, I'm going to lose 2 more. 1 minute, they're knobs. There's a rule. 1 minute. 5 plus 3 is 8. Their leadership 7. 1 more flees unless I roll a 6 for keeping order. I don't roll a 6 for keeping order. So out of the 7 bikes, there's going to be 3 left. 3 left here to jump on you, and a thin green line along the back. It might be time to get tactical, but let's find out what the orders are in Orks. Turn 2. Here we are after the boys' movement phase. I did ditch Blood and Guts last turn. Maybe I should have kept it. I can't advance outside of my deployment zone, but I am holding the line, so there's a point. And I am on 3 objectives for supremacy. This guy advancing and hiding back there. He's not being cowardly. He's tactically repositioning. He's been shouted at, told to look for loot in this objective here. Then Gruggajuggly was here, just advance onto that objective. And then the shooter boys advanced onto that objective. So I am on all 3 objectives. That would be D3 points for supremacy and a point for holding the line. And then I moved some tractor cannons. Moving this one, moving that one, right in the very corner, and moving this one, and getting down and looking means I've got line of sight on this Flyer of Doom. So I'm going to put many shots in it. And then the boys went forward. Now, once per game turn, a warlord on a, not a warlord, but a Death Killer Warlord trike can advance the full 6 inches. So he went 20 inches. He's all the way down here. And his 3 guys with the claws are right behind him. And the idea is not fail the charge against the Telemon, who's toughness 8. So, and he's got a 4 up and vulnerable save. But try and kill the Telemon and try and kill one of these tanks, and then suddenly the amount of Daka coming back at me will be greatly reduced. If I manage to pull that off, I'll be ahead on the points and I'll stand a chance. If I don't manage to pull that off, then the amount of Daka coming back at Murphy's War will be considerable, and it'll be Operation Hide in Ruins and try and prevent you from getting points. Trajan Valoris, I could charge him, but he's got a 3 up and vulnerable save and he will smeg me. So I don't want to be smegged by Trajan Valoris. Instead, smack him. Right, psychic phase. I have a plan as well. Look, you see the grots have moved out here. I need to jump the looters. It's a warp charge value of 7. I've got +2 to this cast because the number of boys around me, so that's a successful da jump. And the looters da jump in front of this grot shield in front of me, and we're arranged in perfect tactical precision so these guys can see through the gaps and these guys can see. Basically, I've lined them up like that because when you get down and have a look, I can see both tanks in case I manage to scratch one quite considerably. That is the end of my psychic phase. I'm going to shoot some guns now. This tractor cannon is going to fire up at that one. And it hits.
Surprise.
And it's strength 8, your toughness 7. I need a 3 to wound. It doesn't wound. Right, let's rinse and repeat with the other tractor gun. 3 to wound. It doesn't wound. Let's rinse and repeat with the third tractor gun. It wounds. That one wounds. It's -2. 5 up and vulnerable save, sir. And you failed to save. You've got 1 command point left. Would you like to spend it?
No, it's okay.
I'm trying to tempt you because, yeah. It's got a fly keyword, 2d6, pick the highest. That's 3 damage. It's got 11 left. Right, that could have been better. The idea of lining up the looters like this was maybe the 3 tractor cannons could have killed one and then I could have shot up the other one. So, okay. So the looters are going to more Daka stratagem and put everything into that tank there. Now they moved, and it is a heavy weapon, but on unmodified hit rolls of 5 or 6, just a natural 5 or 6, they will do more Daka. But it's D3 shots each, and I need more than a 1. I rolled a... Hey, look at that. There's 13 guys there, so that's 39 shots. 39 shots! 5s to hit. Well, unmodified hit rolls of 5 or 6 generate more shots. I re-rolled 1 because I was lucky. I got 14 hits so far, and this much more Daka. So in the end, 19 hits. Now this is the tough part. Strength 7 versus toughness 7. I need force to wound. But I can re-roll one of these because I'm lucky. And that's not great. So only 7 got through, so 4 up saves, and each does 2 damage. In the end, 6 damage. Just 6 damage. That was 3 tractor cannons and the looters. I hoped to have done more. How many wounds is it on left?
5.
5. Nick, the plan was kill one with Daka and then punch your dreadnought behind.
Yep.
Plan's not working.
Not yet.
So the bikers, as they raced under this canopy here, they sprayed lead in the general direction of that thing as well. That's where all the missiles were going, all the trace rounds were going. Let's see if they managed to hit with their Daka guns on their bikes. Fortunately, they've got 6 shots each and they reroll 1 because they're lucky. With Dakaing, I got 6 hits. It's 5s to wound, however, and reroll 1. Okay, so look at that, target acquired. 4 wounds. If you could say it fail all 4 saves, that would be lovely. 3 up. No, you passed them all. Right, the Death Killer War Trike's going to have to do it. 3 twin boomsticks firing up at this. Would be 6s to hit, but these things get a +1 to hit because I advanced. So I hit you once, Daka. Hit you once, and it's strength 5. Oh, wound? No, I don't wound. The Snagger Claw might hit. It needs a 6. No. And the Killer Jet, out of its back end there, it's like burning rocket fuel. Auto hits you D6 times. Twice. I need 5s to wound. It wounds you once. It's -1 as well, I think. It's like a heavy flamer. And you made that save. Right, that's the end of my shooting phase. They're not dead. So we're going to go into the charge phase. I'm going to declare a charge with my Death Killer War Trike on this thing. You have 1 command point, 1 stratagem. Which nasty trick are you going to pull this time?
Well, because it's so close, it looks like it's going to get in anyway, so Tanglefoot it's probably not the best idea, so I'm going to go for unflinching again.
Unflinching. Hitting
So
on
that's hitting on
5s and
5s.
6s. What Daka, what type of profile are you going to use
go
this
for the
time?
4 shots, just because it is a vehicle.
Okay.
And if I'm lucky, might do some damage that way.
5s to hit, re-rolling 1s. If you're lucky, that was 3 hits.
Yeah.
And you re-rolled a wound versus vehicles.
Yeah, strength 9.
Toughness 6. And re-roll the wound versus vehicles. Okay, so you're very lucky. So that's 9 damage on my Death Killer War Trike, right?
-4.
At -4. He has a 6 up invulnerable save or he's dead.
How many wounds has he got?
8.
Oh,
So if I make 1, I'm okay.
you can do it.
I'd like to think I can do it, but
roll 3 6s, you can too.
I don't roll any 6s, he's dead. Right, do you want to do it again against my knobs? Because the knobs on war bikes are going to try and charge as well.
Oh.
But you've spent the command point on Intractable. Does that last till the end of the phase?
I'll have a look.
Okay. Unflinching is until the end of the phase. That's nice. Which weapon profile are you going to use this time? I'm not a vehicle, but they do have 3 wounds each. So anyone that gets through auto kills a knob on war bike. Oh, did he blow up? I don't know if they do blow up. I'd have to check. Yes, they do. Any unit within 6 inches takes a mortal wound. So Trajan, my knobs, that thing, and that. All these 4 units take a mortal wound. When you nailed him with your guns as he came flying, he just blew up in a shout.
And the Telemon has unyielding ancient, so on a 6 he doesn't take it.
Okay,
He does.
that would have just been salt in the wounds.
It would have been.
That would have been salt in the
Yeah.
wounds. Right, so what guns are you firing now?
So the missiles obviously are missiles, and I'm going to fire the heavy 6.
Heavy 6?
Yeah.
So 12 shots
12
this
shots.
time?
Yep.
That's nice. This thing is brutal. I love it. 5s to hit. OMG. Rerolling the 1. Okay.
I blame your dice.
Well, it's orc shooting, essentially, hitting on 5s. You've got 6 hits. Strength
7.
toughness 5, wounding on, like that. Okay, and it's AP minus
1.
1, so I do get a 5-up save. How much damage does it
Just
do?
1.
Just 1. So I might be able to take this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take this. That's 1 dead bike, and 1 is left on 1 wound left.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got shots with the missile launcher?
Yep.
Okay, do you need more dice?
I do.
Any more dice?
No, that's it. That's fine.
Okay, right.
Because I didn't move, it gets to fire twice.
Okay,
Rerolling 1s.
yes. Okay, that's good. That's 3 hits. And strength 5?
Yeah.
It doesn't wound. It does wound. Okay, there's 1 guy, a bike on 1 wound. He's alive. Now I need to make the charge. So I killed 1. There's 2 bikes left. Now I need to make this charge. It's very important because I'm not going to last very long. Trajan is going to turn around and absolutely pound these to oblivion. But at least it will stop you from shooting because you don't have the fly keyword, so you can't fall back. So I need to make this charge. I think I'm in. I'm going to re-roll the 1 just in case. I'm definitely in. Right, because I got a nice long charge, I was able to go over there, which stops Trajan Valoris from heroically intervening. Knobs and Warbikes have 3 attacks each. I've got Power Claws. I'm hitting on 4s. And I'm re-rolling 1 because I'm lucky. So fortunately for me, I get 5 hits through. They are strength 10, so I'm wounding on 3s. Everything wounds. Okay, we just had an infantry accident. Entirely my fault. He's healed. He's fine. He was a bit armless there for a while. So it's 4 up and vulnerable save.
Yep.
4 up and vulnerable save on the Telemann, and you make 2 of them. You don't have any command points left. He's already taken a wound from the explosion, and this is 3d3 wounds. And I can reroll 1 of these because I'm lucky. Wow, 6, 7, 8 wounds on him. But they start from 14?
Yep.
So you've got 8 unyielding ancient saves to make.
Yep.
On 6s. Oh, you avoid 2 of them. So 6, 7 wounds in total. I think that doesn't bracket him. Yes, he is just bracketed. He hits back with 4 attacks on 3s because he's bracketed. Oh, only 2 hits. And he's going to wound on that, I'm assuming.
He's strength 8.
Yeah, 4 up saves. I passed both of them. Wow. And that's the end of everything. When they came racing forward, they still took a casualty. There was only 3 left leadership, so they're going to hold.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hold. So Operation Kill the Telemann and the Custodes grav tank didn't work. They're both still chugging
It's still in motion.
You're still in motion. If you hadn't have killed my Death Killer War Truck when I went flying in there, I think, I think hitting on 2s and wounding on 5s, but re-rolling everything to wound, he'd be dead. So that was a perfect use of your last command point there. Just blowing him up as his way through. But a mortal wound on Trajan, he's down to 6. A mortal wound on that. Your gun line is still very much combat effective, but this won't be able to shoot for a turn at least. In the meantime, my looters are a little bit exposed, and there's 2 Custodes grav tanks looking at them. I do get a point for holding the line, so it's 2 points to 1, and I do get
3 points to 1.
Yeah, so it's 3 points to 1, and I get D3 points for supremacy. So it's 6 points to 1 in favour of the boys. So I am leading the points battle. However, I'm not going to be able to do much to. It's going to be very interesting. It's going. Let's go on to. Yeah, I'm worried. I'm saying I'm worried. It's 6 points to 1, but I'm worried. What, you're worried about me or worried about you?
Worried about you. You're running away with points.
Yeah, I'm worried about you because your guns are still combat effective.
It's a point game.
It is a point game.
It's not a kill game.
Yes. Let's go on to Custodes turn 3. Right, so here are the Custodes orders and they can finally do something. Secure objective 1, well they can't do that one, and Kingslayer Gruggerchugger's hidden away, so they can't do that. But eliminate threats, you get a point if you kill something, and if you kill 3 things, that's D3 points instead, so a chance for the Custodes to come back in the game. Right, 6 points to 1. Here we are after the Custodes movement phase, and the Warlord of the Custodes has come out to play. You need to kill stuff. Kill 3 things, that'll be D3 points, and they'll be back in the fight. And your reinforcements have teleported into the battle grid from golden light they come, and they are 9 inches away from charging Gruggerchugger. Their infantry, they can go straight through that wall. And the Claudius tanks, I don't like the look at them. They've got come closer. That one's bracketed, but it still moves 10. It's jumped all the way forward, right up in front of my looters. So, yeah, they're quite nasty. Meanwhile, in the backfield, the Telemann has fallen out of combat, so it won't be shooting this turn. But I think Trajan Valoris and your Aquila is going to make short work of my knobs on bikes. So shall we start over here?
Yeah.
And you can pull the trigger. So Trajan hits on 2s.
He does.
And he'll wound on 5s.
His axe actually strength 5.
Is it? So he's wounding on 4s.
He's rolling 1s.
He wounds once. What is it? AP minus a lot?
I think it's more -1.
Oh, that's off the table. The bike on 1 wound left is dead, and then the Castellan axe guy can shoot in. And he hits twice.
He is strength 4.
And no, okay. 1 knob warbiker dies, leaving 1 alone, wondering where the Telemann got to and looking back over his shoulder. Then we move further into the shooting phase. The shield captain wiped out 6 boys with his hurricane bolters. This unit that teleported in picked on the Gretchen and killed 4 or 5 of them. And now we're on to the Claudius tanks. The one that's hitting on 3s is firing at the looters. So I've spent my last command point on grot shields, but you're putting everything into looters.
Yeah.
So hitting on 3s with the big gun of doom, and it gets 7 hits, and it's winning on 2s. Oh, okay, only 4 wounds. On 2s, these pass off to... No, then I need to make my saves. I save 1 of them, and then on 2s, these pass off to the Gretchen. So 3 Gretchen die, and then you do the other shots coming in hot. Yep. And they hit on 3s, 4 hits, and they wound on that. So 6 up saves. So there's 3 more. 2 pass off to the Gretchen. So yeah, that's the squad of Gretchen and a looter dead. With the grot shield wiped out, the tank that is hitting on 2s, putting everything into looters. So big gun of doom hitting on 2s and wounding on 2s. Wow, there's 3 1s. No re-rolls because you move so far forward. Can I make some 6s? I can make 1 6, so 3 more looters die. And then the 6 shots from the Lastrom bolt cannon. Everything hits and wounds on 3s. And only 2 wounds. Wow. Can I make... Looking for boxcars here. No, 2 more looters die. I lost 6 in total. And with 6 looters burning in agony, the grot shield in front of them burning in agony, and one of the mega knobs back there on the mega knobs on warbikers dying. And with some of the shooter boys over here dying, that is the end of the shooting phase. Again, another punishing turn. So we've got some charges coming up. Are these guys trying to charge Gruggerchugger?
They are.
I can't overwatch you. I don't have line of sight. It's just a 9. I'm looking for Kingslayer here. It's just a 9. It's easy, right? I saw it for a moment.
Not this turn.
So that's a failed charge. You don't have any command points left. I don't have any command points left. Your Warlord, this is a 7-inch charge, but he's got the thing that allows him to re-roll. So he makes the charge anyway. Let's do some Overwatch. Shield Captain ends up there. I did a couple of wounds to him on Overwatch, but he tanked them no problem. Talking about tanks, this tank is charging him. Okay. Yeah, you make the charge. And the Claudius tank ends up there, and then in the backfield for the Custodes, Trajan Valoris and the Vexilla charge into the last knob on Warbike. So multiple charges on multiple areas of the battle grid erupting. I can't pay to interrupt. Where would you like to start, sir?
We're going to start with the Shield Captain, I think.
Start with Shield Captain?
Yeah.
Okay, he's got 5 attacks. He hits on 2s.
He does.
And he wounds on 3s and rerolls to wound, because that's what bikes do when they charge. So See, that was...
He just averages
He's
3.
just averaging 3. 6 up and buns. And I saved one of them anyway. So it looks like this. 8 boys have died so far. Then Nick selected the tank, and this was a canny move. He piled in closer to the closest enemy model, but it allows you to move 3 inches. And he's tagged the looters, which means when the looters fall back out of combat, they won't shoot. And now the tank is going to hit him or the looters?
I have to hit him.
You have to hit him. Oh, yeah.
So 6 is to hit.
Nope. Okay.
That's fine.
But yeah, you stop the looters from shooting. Now let's go on to Trajan Valoris, taking on this one lone biker. He's not going to last very long. 2's to hit.
We're rolling once.
Yep. And he's strength 10 or something, isn't he, with that axe?
So his watch axe is strength 10.
Yeah, winning on 2s. Beautiful. I need to make a bunch of 6 up and vulnerable saves. I make 1. Multiple D3s or more. Is it D3?
It's D3.
Yeah. So I've got 3 wounds, so even if you roll 3 1s, that is a dead biker. So death, beautiful death in the backfield. Now it's time for the Orks to strike back. The Empire strikes back. The looters have piled in. This one will not get to strike, but these 6 looters can strike that tank. They're still Orks, so they have 2 attacks each. And they hit on 3s, and this is 11 dice. So I reroll 1 because I'm lucky, and reroll 1 because I only chucked 11 dice down. Everything hits, look. I need 5s to wound your tank. Rerolling 1 of them because I'm lucky. Okay, so I did 5 wounds on the tank, 5 3-up saves.
Yep.
He takes 3 wounds.
Uh-oh.
That's amazing. So now I'm going to select this boss knob that you assaulted rather rudely. He was hiding by the corner, ignoring. Anyway, hits you with a claw. 4s, rerolling 1 because I'm lucky. All 3 hit. Strength 10, and rerolling 1 because I'm lucky. Okay, 2 at -3, but you have a 5 and Vun. You make 1, D3 damage, 3 more damage. So I think I just did 5 damage to you.
It's 9.
9, that's what the Germans say. 9, when they count to 9. Okay, so that happened there. Now I need to pile in with the shooter boys over here. At least my boss knob with the big chopper will be able to get in and fight. Right, I have 18 attacks from normal boys. These 2 on the edge are not fighting. They hit on 3s.
-1 because of my warlord trait.
They hit on 4s because of your glowing, radiant, mantled warlord trait. He's so bright and shiny, it blinds our eyes. Winning on 5s.
Mm-hmm.
Still winning on 5s though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 5s to wound. I did some wounds. I'm not doing the rerolls yet because I'm going to do that with a big chopper. So those at AP nothing. So 2-up saves on your warlord. He takes a wound unless you'd like to reroll it. There is a claw about to hit you because you've got victory. Yeah, okay. Oh no, not a claw. He's got a big chopper. Big chopper there. So it would be 3s to hit, but 4s to hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hit anyway. That's nice. It's strength 7, the big chopper. So you're toughness 6. 3s to wound. I wound with everything. It's -1 and 2 damage. If you fail all of these, he's dead. Maybe. You fail 1. Would you like to re-roll that?
I'm going to
Victor of the Bullet Games. Yep. Okay. So he only takes 1 wound, but if he bleeds, we can kill it. Right. That's the end of the everything phase, except for the morale phase. I lost 8 boys here, but they're currently leadership 12 because of mob rule. There's 12 models there. So 8 plus 2 is 12. They managed to hold. I lost 6 looters. So if I roll a 1, I'm good. I rolled a 5. That's not so good. But that does mean that I can pull 4 away from here, which means I'm not in an inch of you, and you can't consolidate in. That happens at the end of the fight phase.
Mm-hmm.
So they will be free to shoot,
Mm-hmm.
which is a bonus.
Yep.
But the negative is I just lost 4 looters. And at the end of that phase, you killed 2 things. You killed the Gretchen and you killed the bike in the backfield. That's not 3 things.
No, that is 2.
You nearly killed the looters, but you didn't. So you get a point.
Yeah.
So it's 6 points to 2. But I have no presence in your backfield. The Tellerman will be able to fire next turn. That is firing at full effect next turn. All I've got left is the stuff all the way along here. 6 points to 2. But your warlord is right there. Right there. And there's tractor guns and Grugger Chugger, and he's got a 3-up and vulnerable save. You could probably tank it. But you've given me targets though. Do I throw stuff at him, or do I try killing one of these tanks? Let's see what the card gods say. in Orks. Turn 3. 6 points to 2. I got rid of advance. Now, these are some good draws. That's if you don't table me. Stomp M Boys. Score a victory point if an enemy unit was destroyed in the fight phase. So if I kill something in the fight phase, brilliant. Score D3 points if 3 or 5 enemy units were destroyed in the fight phase. So basically, just like Blood and Guts, smack something with my fist. Secure objective 4, I'm on. There's a point right there. And get 'em, boss. If my Warlord kills something, I get D3 point. I get a point. But if my Warlord kills your Warlord, I get D3 points. And your Warlord came out to play. I think the orders are quite clear. Gruggerchucker's going to have to go after that shield captain. Right, here we are before the movement phase, and what I was thinking of doing when he put his stuff here is I could have moved my Warlord and advanced him, and because he's got the Wah ability, I could still charge the tank and potentially killed it, because he hits on 2s, and he'd be wounding on 2s, re-rolling the wound, and that'd be some of the DACA gone. That's what I was thinking of doing, and that's probably the most tactical thing to do, but I've got Get 'em, boss, and there's your boss, and there's my boss, so let's fight. So here we are after the movement phase. I didn't move very much, and if I kill something in close combat, like the shield captain on Dog in Eagle Get Jet Bike words, I get a point. And he's a Warlord, I get a point. And if Gruggerchugger does it, I get D3 points. There's a lot of points there, and I thought about pulling him out of combat, the boys, because right now this tractor cannon is not shooting at anything, and your Warlord is the closest thing, and I automatically hit him and wound him on a 3. And he's got the fly keyword, so I double the damage if you fail a 3-up invulnerable save. So I thought about pulling him out of combat, but it's not very orky, so I kept him in combat. What I could have done is pull this boy out of combat over here with this tank and shot at it with a tractor cannon that's not shooting anything. But he's in combat, that's not very orky. So I'm not pulling him out of combat.
And you're probably going to do more with the claw anyway.
I'm hoping I can do more with the claw anyway. And he's on objective 4. That one under there, that orange, where is it? One there. That one, that's objective 4. So I'm within 3 inches of it. I'm a troops choice, so I'm scoring it. So I'm not pulling out of combat. So I'll get a point for that one. Basically, I'm getting a lot of points. I'm running away with the points. But next turn, it's interesting. Because the looters can now fire at that guy. This tractor cannon can fire at that guy. And the tractor cannon tucked in there. Look, there's a tractor cannon. Where is he? There. That tractor cannon can see this one as well. And that one's on 4 wounds. So I might be able to do some DACA. Yeah, interesting. But he's got a 3-up invulnerable save and he can reroll 1. It's very interesting. It's 6 points to 2. I have a chance to pull into the lead. And last time I tried to kill these transports, these tanks, it didn't go very well for me. Right.
It's going to be a pivotal turn.
It's going to be a pivotal turn. If I kill some stuff this turn, I could potentially win this. If I don't kill anything, then I'm going to lose. That's what happens, right? If you don't kill anything in 40k, you lose. I think
you might win the battle, but you'll lose the war or something.
How many models have I killed so far in your entire army?
2.
Ice cream. Do you want an ice cream?
Ice cream time!
Ice cream van is still a street or 2 away. We'll get an ice cream in a minute. Right. I'm going to smite you. I'm going to smite you, tenderize you, soften you up for the blow. I smite you. That's D3 mortal wounds on your shield captain. He's got 6 wounds left so far, and he takes another wound, which he can ignore on a 6 because he's a Custodes. And he doesn't ignore. Right, okay, that's a nice little softened up. He's down to 5 left. Now, Weird Boy Will is going to put Might is Right on Gruggerchugger, because currently he's up to 5 attacks. If this passes, not Might is Right, Fist of Gork, this will give him 7 attacks.
That's tasty.
I don't want to alarm you, but this will give him 7 attacks. I need a 6. And I get +1 to cast because there's more than 10 boys within 10 inches of me. I pass it. I need to check that it's a 6. I'm thinking it's a 6. It's probably a 6. 1 minute. Yes, it's a 6. It passed. I'm currently up to strength 7 with my Warlord trait at 7 attacks with my Warlord trait at strength 18. So I think I'm hitting and winning you on 2. So that's good. Right, now let's shoot some guns. These looters can only shoot at that tank. They get 1 shot each. They were rammed by a tank last turn. They hit on 5s. I get 1 hit and they'll wound on a 4. They don't do anything. Okay. Tractor cannon needs to kill this tank. I've got true tractor cannons that can hit it. It hits. Do I wound? I rolled a 2 again. Why do I keep doing that to myself? Why do I make this hard?
If only you were a Custodes.
Yes. The other tractor cannon from all the way over there, he's threading the needle. He hits. It's the most perfect grot gunner in history. But can he wound, or is some of the tractor beam deflected by this ruins that he's firing through? He can wound. All you need to do is a 5-up invulnerable save now. And you fail. Right. It's got 4 wounds left. Tractor cannons roll 2d6. Discard the lowest when hitting a vehicle. Just need a 4. This is for Gork, or possibly Mork. I do it. I kill one of the tanks. It only took me forever. If it blows up, it's going to hurt this guy.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. So don't roll a 6. You don't roll a 6.
Don't roll a 6.
One of the tanks finally goes. Okay. That's the end of my shooting phase. Looters missed. Tractor cannons finally dragged down one of those things. Now let's fight. My warlord is charging in. He's fine. He goes, rah. Gets within, well, he can go around the back, which would leave him slightly exposed. He has to go around the back. I'm going to lose my warlord, aren't I? He's going to have to go around the back. You've got Kingslayer in your hand. I could get D3 for this, and you get D3 right back again. Okay, charging units go first. Come on, Grugger Chugger. Take out a shield captain. You can do it. 7 attacks. Hidden on 2s.
3s.
3s because of your shiny thing, and I can reroll one of these because I'm lucky. Only get 4 hits through. Strength 18. I think I'm wounding you on 2s. I wound every single time, and it's a flat 3 damage. You've got 3 up invulnerable save and 5 wounds left. And you fail 1. Victor of the Blood Games?
Yep.
And you pass it. Right. Non-charging units.
Your choice.
Grugger Chugger versus Shield Captain. I whiffed. But this unit is now going to hit you. 11 shooter boys. 22 attacks. 3s to hit. Sorry. 4s to hit. He's so shiny. So bright and shiny and gold. And this is how many wounds I do. 1. I did 1 wound with a normal boy. If you could roll 1, that I appreciate it. No, he makes the save. So the big chopper, 4s to hit because he's shiny. I can reroll one of these because I'm lucky. 2 hits. I'm wounding on 3s. And I reroll one of these because I'm lucky. So 2 at -1. And you've used your reroll. And you fail 1. That's 2 damage with a big chopper.
Down to 3.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Now it's your turn to strike back. You probably want to try and kill this orc before he hits you with a claw.
I just need to check the attack characteristic.
Now you're on 6 wounds.
D3 attacks.
D3 attacks. That was a 1. Hitting on a 6. Nope. And then I will select this guy to hit you with his Claw of Doom. 4s. Everything hit. Uh-oh. Do I kill both tanks this turn? That would be unprecedented. 3s to wound. I wound. I didn't even need the rerolls. 3 5-up invulnerable save, sir. You make 2 of them. So you're going to be okay. He's got 6 wounds left. This will do 9. Is that a 9,
That's
is it?
9.
9. Oh, yeah, I remember saying 9. D3 damage, which I can reroll because I'm lucky. Yeah, what the hell. Gork is with me. But Mork screwed me over. He's got 8 wounds left. You know what? That's the difference between you being bracketed and not bracketed.
Yep.
That was foolish. But very orky. Right, so your shield captain gets to strike. You have Slay the Warlord in your hand.
I do.
You're not going to attack Grugger Chugger, are you? Going to attack the boys?
No, I'm going to attack.
You're going to go? Yeah, okay, all right. 2s. Reroll the 1s. Okay, 5 hits.
What's toughness again?
Toughness 20. I think you're winning on 3s.
Winning on 2s then?
Yeah. He wounded more than 3 times this time. He wounded that many times. It's AP -2, right?
-3.
I have a 6-up invulnerable save.
And a D3 damage piece.
Is it? This could be painful. He saves 1. I think my war boss has got 6 wounds. I think. And I think he's alive.
That's 5.
I think he's just alive. Round 1 of this combat, they punch each other. I don't land a blow, but you've hurt Grugger Chugger. And so your shield captain is on 3 wounds left. Grugger Chugger is only on 1 wound left. And interestingly enough, I don't kill anything in the fight phase. So I don't get Stomp 'em Boys or Get 'em Boss. I don't get either of them. I do get a point for securing objective 4 over there, which means it's 7 points to 2?
Yeah.
7 points to 2. And if you slay my Warlord, you'll get D3 points for Kingslayer plus 1 point for slay the Warlord. So 7 points to 2. However, a great moral victory for the boys. One of these tanks has gone down. If these looters survive, they're going to loot it. But looters don't necessarily pose a threat when there's only 3 of them left. Right, 7 points to 2 in favour of the Custodes. We're about to go into turn 4. Here are Trajan Valoris's commands, or rather that's Shield Captain's command. Secure Objective 1, Kingslayer, and defend Objective 6. Objective 6 is in the Custodes table half. They're right next to it. Objective 1, that unit that teleported in, are right next to it. Kingslayer is possible as well. Essentially, all these orders are achievable, and the Custodes potentially right back in this game. 7 points to do. Here we are off the Custodes movement phase, and they're defending Objective 6. So unless I shift that Telemann off there and Treasure, I'm not going to be able to shift them off there. At the end of my turn, you're going to get 2 points.
Hopefully.
And secure Objective 1. Your Shield Captain has tactically repositioned.
Yes.
Onto Objective 1. We're calling it tactically reposition. And ordered the Custodes forward, the firing squad in on Grugga Chugga, and if they fail to bring him down with bolt guns, they will do it with blades. And that will be Kingslayer. And for the first time this game, you'll score every single one of your objectives.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. The guys over here have finally broken cover. And we've already done the shots over here into the tractor cannon team, and they didn't do any damage. And the Tank of Doom, which isn't bracketed because I was silly, has jumped along so we can hose all the way down the back lines. Yeah, beautiful. So the Telemann, we're moving on to the Telemann. What are we doing with the Telemann?
So the missiles are moved, so it's only 5 shots, so firing into this orc down here.
Okay, you can just about see him. Yep.
So hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s.
Wasn't he bracketed?
Sorry, 3s.
Yeah.
So rerolling 1s anyway.
Okay. It's strength 5, toughness 4.
And then reroll this one for Trajan. So just 1.
1 wound, 1 6 up and run, which I fail. He takes a wound. They got 2 wounds. Possible, yeah. Yeah, he's still alive and he can charge that thing. Then the remaining guns of the Telemann. 1 laser is going to fire 6 shots into the looters and then 2 shots into the tractor cannon.
That is correct.
Yeah, so firing 2 different firing modes from his guns. Let's do the 6 shots into the looters, hitting on 3s because of the bracket thing, re-rolling 1s because of Trajan. You only hit 3 times. Interesting.
That's all I need.
That's all you need.
It's being...
That's all I need. Re-roll the 1. You need more.
I need more.
Yeah, 6 up and run. No, you do kill a looter though. 1 dies. And then 2 shots into the tractor cannon of Doom. Re-roll the 1s. Oh dear. It's strength 9.
Yep.
And it wounds, and its AP huge. Don't get a save. How much damage?
3.
3. Tractor cannons on 3 wounds left. The Telemann didn't kill the looters, or the tractor cannons, or a single orc boy. I'm disappointed in it.
He's just lining it up for everyone else. He's not a glory hog.
So the tank is going to finish things off. Bolt cannon into looters, massive cannon of doom into the tractor cannon, and it isn't bracketed yet. So what are we doing?
Big gun first.
Big gun. 2s to hit, everything hit. And 3s to wound. Yep, that's enough because it's minus a lot and it's D3 a lot. The tractor cannon is dead. Okay, and now 6 shots into the looters. 2s to hit and 3s to wound. So that was 5 hits. And that is only 3 wounds. But you kill the looters anyway. So yeah, the Telemann softened up these 2 targets and then the tank just annihilated them. Right, where are we going next? This squad over here?
We're going to do the one closer first.
This squad closer into Grugga Chugga?
Yeah.
Okay, so firing what?
Spears.
Spears. 2s to hit. Did you put...
No,
yeah.
I
No?
failed.
Okay.
I failed.
5s to wound though. That's 1 wound and it's AP.
1.
So I need a 5 or it's Slay the Warlord. How lucky is Grugga Chugga this day? He's not lucky. He is dead. That is Slay the Warlord and Kingslayer. And the Orks bellow out in anger and rage as Grugga Chugga goes down, and then the Shield Captain unloads. with his Hurricane Bolter into the shooter boys. And he wipes out 5 of them. And that is the end of the Custodes shooting phase. We're now going on to the charge phase. This unit charging in hot, just don't roll really low. That's enough to get them in. They just need to be an inch away. Are you charging anything else? He can't charge because he fell back. You fall back and shoot, but not fall back and charge. Mm-hmm. Is this tank going to try and... Oh no, it fell back out of contact as well. So this is the only charge this turn. The boys fired loads of Daka as they came charging in and didn't do any wounds. The Custodes armor hanging in firm. Right, 9 attacks coming in. You might as well do it all together because it's all going to hit and wound on the same. Okay. So 2s to hit, and now you're re-rolling 1s because you're in range of your captain, and 3s to wound. Because I think the spears are +2 and the swords are just strength 5, but it's... Oh, okay. AP minus
3.
Many. 6 up in Vuns. I make 1 of them. 4 boys die, which leaves 3 boys left. 2 normal shooter boys hit 3 times and wound once. Top save. He's fine. And then the big chopper, rerolling 1, hits once and wounds on a 3, which I can reroll. Wounds once, which is -1.
Might as well take on the shield. Oh no.
And the shield takes 2 wounds. Nice. I find a chink in his armour. And then he killed 9 boys. And my leadership is 7 + 3 is 10. The remaining 3 boys run away. Sorry, no, got that wrong. The boss knob is still standing there, swinging away. And we got ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Right, more importantly, you got lots of points. You killed my warlord, there's a point, so that's 7 points to 2.
Yep.
Something else happened. One minute, a bit distracted and running out for the ice cream. What else happened? Kingslayer, yep. D3 points for Kingslayer. For 1. So 7 points to 4. Plus you're on objective 1. 7 points to 5. Yeah? Yep. And you're defending that objective over there, and I'm not going to be able to do anything about it, I don't think. So it should be 7 points to 7 if I don't score any points at the end of my turn. So 7 points to 5 in favour of the Custodes. And I've got a boss knob here, a boss knob there, and a couple of tractor cannons. Interesting. Let's go to Orks turn 4. Okay, I got rid of Get 'em bots last turn because I sensed the impending doom that was the death of my warlord. I still need to kill something in the fight phase and defend objective 1 and defend objective 4, which is pretty impossible. Right, there's objective 1. I need to get on that and defend that. So that isn't going to happen. There's Custodes here. This is before the movement phase. There's objective 4. Now, this has got 8 wounds left. What I need to do is somehow charge that and kill that, and that will be a point. And then defend objective 4 by scurrying back and lining myself up so the Telemon can't see me and trying to defend that. So I have a plan. I thought about this. I thought about this. You're going to like this. Weird Boy Will the jumps over here and smites that to soften it up. And the tractor cannon fires at it as well and doesn't whiff the wounding to soften it up. And then I punch it. And then I get a point, at least.
And then I explode.
No. So that's the plan. But first I need to cast the jump. And it's a 6. Okay, that worked. I'm jumping myself. So he disappears, puff of green energy, and he's over here. He's in charge now. He knows what he's doing. Now all I need to do is smite you. I need a 5. That's a super smite and a perils. So he gets a headache. He's trying to pull this out of the bag. He gets a headache and he suffers a mortal wound to himself. He's down to 3 left. But I am going to do D6 damage to your tank, and they don't have the Custodes thing which ignores mortal wounds in the psychic phase. So I just rolled 2 6s. All I need to do is roll another one. I roll a 2 instead. Okay, it's down to 6 wounds left, which is a bit unfortunate because my tractor cannon could kill it, and I need to kill something in the fight phase. But I have to shoot you. I have to shoot you with my tractor cannon. Just needs a 3 to wound. It wounds. So you have a 5 up invulnerable save, sir, on your tank, which you fail. 2d6 damage. It's got 6 wounds left, and I picked the highest, and I don't want it to be a 6. So let's see what happens. It's a 3. Okay, so it's down to 3 wounds left?
Yep.
Okay. Right, part 1 is through, because you're going to get 2 points and it's going to be 7 points to 7. If I can kill it, then at least I'll be a point in the lead. Part 2 is assaulting this thing, but there's 14 shots. So let's get this on camera, and let's see if you can kill me in the Overwatch phase.
Would you like to shoot with this tractor cannon?
The other tractor cannon over there. I think the only thing I can fire at is... See, they're in combat.
Yep.
So I can't shoot at them. I wasn't falling out of combat. I can't shoot at him because he's a character. What can I shoot at?
The Telemon.
Right, thank you for reminding me about the tractor cannon. So the tractor cannon hits. It's strength 8, I need a wound on a 4. It wounds, okay, -2. 4 up and vulnerable save on your Telemon. And you save it. Okay, right, cool. Now we're doing the Overwatch on camera for this tank into my... Please, he's going to be a hero.
Hey, Winters, guess what?
What?
I'm only hitting on 6s now.
Yeah. Instead of 5s on Overwatch. Okay.
I'm not getting too many dice there. 6.
Where are we starting with? The accelerator cannon.
Yeah.
6 to hit. There's 3 6s. 2s to wound. There's 3 wounds. Can I make 3 6s? The plan fails. You annihilate him as he goes charging in, screaming, "Wah!" At least he died doing what he loved.
Yeah.
See, the other thing that was rather important was killing it in the fight phase, so you can't just turn your turret round and annihilate Weird Boy Will, who's looking a bit exposed, staring down a tank. Okay, Boss Knob, start the fight phase, attacks your dude. He hits and he can re-roll one of them because he's lucky. He's not feeling very lucky right now. 3s to wound. Oh, I get 3 through. -1. 2 damage time.
I need to roll these at one at a time because
the shield dies. Okay.
And then the last 2 on spear.
Okay.
-1.
-1.
Yeah.
2 damage.
More damage.
Nice. Actually, kill one. He takes 1 with him because you're now going to turn around with 6 attacks. And
Thank you, sir.
Yep, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s because you're in range of the captain, and wounding on 3s. Only 3 wounds. D3 damage, and he's got 2 wounds. Ah, yeah, he's dead. He's dead. The Orks is dead. So at the end of that turn, I don't get any points. I'm not defending any of these objectives. And you get 2 points for the defending that objective up there. So it's 7 points to 7 in favour of the Custodes. They're not in the lead yet, but it's a dead heat as we go into turn 5. And the card gods are certainly paying attention to the Custodes now. Behind enemy lines, secure objective 2 and overwhelming firepower. Here we are at the end of the Custodes movement phase. They are behind enemy lines with 1, 2, 3 units. So that'll be D3 points. They're securing objective 2. It's right behind that wall. So that's an extra point. And now they only need to shoot something, 1 thing in the shooting phase. And that'll be another point as well. And if they kill 3 things in the shooting phase, that'll be D3 points for overwhelming firepower. And here we are at the very end of the Custodes phase. The tank blew away Weird Boy Will and put some rounds downstream. And the Telemon could see the vehicle, the tractor cannon, and it gets re-rolls to wound versus vehicles. And the range of its strength 9 guns is like 72 inches or something. So it blew away a second unit. And then the rest of my boys disappeared with cannons into the last tractor cannon. So you killed 3 things in the shooting phase. And you've got 3 things behind enemy lines. And you've got a point for that one. So that is 8 points to 7 plus 2 D3 points for behind enemy lines and overwhelming firepower. If you roll 2 D3 for me. So that's another 4 points. So you're 5 points in the lead. And I don't have any models left on the table. You killed my entire army. The Custodes wipe out Murphy's War, and I only took out 4 models. That's your dead pile. This is my craziness dead pile. So with the tabling in the favour of the Custodes, this is the way the world ends. Right, so I really enjoyed that. I'm pleased that I managed to pull into the lead with the points and make you fight for it. I really made you fight for it. The Palace tank going down in turn 1. I think if I'd have taken out, you know that turn when I came up here with the knobs on Warbikers and went for the Telemann and went for the Grav tank? If some of those tractor cannons had done it, or basically if I'd have taken out one of the tanks a turn earlier, I think I had a chance.
Yeah.
I'm saying there was a chance.
No, definitely. On that pivotal turn, which I mentioned earlier, if you could have taken down the Telemann or one of the other Custodes, it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah.
It would have been a very, very big uphill struggle for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty uphill for you anyway, but towards the end of the game, the snowball started picking up momentum and speed, and then the cards came out, the right cards came out. Let's face it, at the beginning, you had really bad draws, but then at the end, you got good draw after good draw. I guess you'd pulled all the really crappy cards out of the way anyway, so you couldn't pull any more crappy cards, there were none left.
I think it's better to get them early, in some respects, because if they're ones you can't do early on, they're out of the way, and you can concentrate on depleting the enemy army, and then you can focus on them later on.
Yeah. Now you've played with your army quite a few times. Are you happy to take this to no retreat A? Are you going to tweak it at all? I like this guy. I mean, there was one turn when he whiffed, but all the other turns he just annihilated stuff, and the fact that he can overwatch on a 5-up or something was just brutal.
Yeah. I mean, with the no retreat format, there is Maelstrom and Eternal War.
Yeah.
And I hadn't played Maelstrom with this army.
Right.
And I struggled. I thought there would be an issue with maneuverability.
Yeah.
But I think I need to be a bit more reserved with the Palace, because that'll give me a bit more.
Yeah.
But with the Gladiuses, with the jet bikes, with deep striking, it does give me a bit of board presence. But
I think you're going to have to pay for Maelstrom. You're always going to have to pay to stick one of these guys in reserve. But these things moving 14, you have got deceptive an amount of manoeuvrability. The Shield Captain is an absolute beast. We all know this. You have got a deceptive amount of manoeuvrability. And let's face it, a lot of people will be coming back for your castle to try and... The assaulty based list will be coming back for your castle anyway. They'll be coming at you. So I like your list.
Thank you.
What do you think of... Do you think I should go with Bad Moons, re-rolling hit rolls of 1 and doing that stratagem? Or do you... that 6-up invulnerable save helped, and the re-rolling the hit, re-rolling with that helped? It just feels more orky to me.
I mean, there's not a lot of shooting.
No.
The only thing that will benefit is the looters, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
But that is a lot of your damage.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I've got the looters doing their thing. There's 4 tractor cannons. I don't mind if people shoot at them. They're 45 points each. They're a missile launcher. If you want to spam it, you can bring like 12 of them or something. But they are a missile launcher. It hits, strength 8, -2 d6 damage. That's all they are.
Yeah.
The auto hitting is nice. What you should really do, I think, is bring 2 big squads of looters, not just tractor cannons. So you can get that for the same amount of points, but there's too many boys to move around.
Have you seen the new movement trays?
Yeah, and I know the movement trays, but yeah, I remember using movement trays back in the day. Too many boys to move around. The idea is, this size of list is I can stick it in my travel bag, and I can play it in 2.5 hours if I'm not filming. If I bring 150 boys or 200 boys, I can't necessarily bring all of them with me and play a full game. I want to play a full game. I want to have fun. So that's why the tractor cannons are in there, and then the mega knobs and the bikers are there for the punch. And I think the mega knobs, against any other list where it isn't -2 to charge, can hit a vehicle and kill it, or hit a screen. They're pretty good against. They've got so many attacks. They're good against screens as well.
Yeah. And you need to take them out because they will do damage. So, even if they are a distraction, they can do damage.
And the knobs on Warbikers, backed up by a Deathkiller Wartrike, has got a crazy amount of punch as well, assuming that your Deathkiller Wartrike doesn't die to Overwatch as he makes his way in. Yeah.
I think there was some lucky rolls on my part in that game.
There was some lucky and some unlucky. You made some glorious ones. Actually, you made some glorious ones at some glorious moments. I think the terrain really helped as well. I'm pleased that I overdid it, considering how much Dakar there is in your army.
It's surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, it has got a lot of DACA, and if this was more of a pigeon shoot, then I think it would have been over in turn 2, turn 3. So I'm pleased. At the beginning I thought maybe I put too much down, but honestly I think it made a game of it.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
It was good fun. I really enjoyed it. And as I was saying earlier, Trajan kind of is necessary in this because there is so many shots and you only have 19 models. You need to make every shot count.
Yeah, he's a lot of points.
He went down in the last chapter approved, but he's still over 150. I think he's about 185 or something.
And I guess as well, if something is charging back there against your Telemon and your tanks, you've got Trajan and to jump on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like sometimes when I do the End of All Things, I leave a Demon Prince back in the castle with his reroll hit rolls of 1 bubble and Arch Contaminator. And that's on purpose doing that rather than just a Chaos Lord, because he's a demon with Smite and a demon with Maleficent. You know, it can do some real damage.
Yeah.
So there has been a few occasions in games where people want to assault the shooty castle in the backfield, but have chosen not to because they know that they're going to get jumped on by something that can destroy them back again. Yeah. I mean, Trajan Valoris can kill dreadnoughts. He can kill something quite tough. He's no slouch in combat.
No, he hits on 2s, he's strength 10,
yeah,
-3 D3 damage, and he also, that moment shackle, you can also use to attack again.
Yeah, you can
use it for CP.
Yeah, instead of using the moment shackle to farm those CP back, you can just use it once per battle and he gets to do all his attacks again. Yeah. So essentially in one round of combat he could have 10 attacks. Yep. It's like him rewinding time.
Yeah.
He rewinds time, flickers back in time just a few seconds earlier, and there's 2 Trajan Valorises in front of you beating you to death. That sounds like a horror show. Okay, well thank you so much for coming down again. Yeah, I'm going to see you in about 6 weeks at No Retreat.
Yeah, you will.
It's going to be fine. I owe you an ice cream.
I look forward to it.
I couldn't find any money. Thank you for the ice cream. This battle map brought to you by GameMap.eu. All the scenery is from GameMap.eu as well. I like this scenery. 1 set of the Necropolis train gets you 2 of these walls. I know it's a bit expensive, but if you want it to really sing, you need a few sets. If you want something that's cheap, and if you want to help support me create battle reports, then I encourage you to visit deploymentzone.tv. It's only $5 a month, and you get more of me. You get more Winters and a little bit of Liam and more battle reports and big debates and narrative campaigns. I think the Death of Hope is currently running by the time this video comes out. There's lots and lots of content on there now, including painting tutorials. So if you want to support us and help us make more battle reports and help us invest in more armies, then just join us in the deployment zone. For everyone else who's watching, everyone at home, I hope you enjoyed that battle report. I know we certainly did. Happy wargaming.